The new anime season is upon us, winter 2021, so me and my good buddy Zeo, hey Zeo.
Hi, Spen.
are here to talk about it.
Yeah.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Son of a Geek podcast.
Son of a geek!
Woo! Hey, I'm
Hey, I'm Zeo again. And we're gonna redo the intro.
Yeah. Nah, it's too late. All right. Zeo, I'm pumped for this.
Me
Anime is one
too.
of the greatest things ever invented in the entire world.
Yes, it is.
It's even better than privatized healthcare.
I mean, yeah, sure.
It is. There's nothing that beats the world of anime. And we got a new season coming up here. Winter 2021.
Yeah.
It starts in January, and I'm excited.
That's right. There's a lot of new anime. There's a lot of old anime. There's a lot of anime in between. And they're all around.
Yeah, and we did one of these before, and we learned from many mistakes.
Yes.
One being, give Zeo pictures so that he knows what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, there's so many shows coming out.
There are so many.
I'm not as excited for this season, though.
No? Why is that?
Well, there's a bunch of shows that look really exciting, and there's a couple shows that are continuing that I haven't seen anything for in a while.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad season, but it's not like I wouldn't put it in the top 5, and I wouldn't make it a top 5 season for shows coming out.
Okay. Well, we'll have to just go down this list and see.
So for you guys, we are currently looking at livechart.me/winter-2021. So if anybody wants to kind of follow along with
TV.
this.
So yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh
Get
yeah,
on there.
/TV is at the end there too.
Yeah, because we're on the television tab of Winter 2021 anime.
Zeo, if you haven't done so, there's right underneath where it says Winter 2021.
Yeah.
It's gonna say sort by.
Yeah.
It's gonna say average user rating, and beside it, you're gonna want to switch Romaji titles to English titles.
I already did that.
Okay, cool.
But we're going by average user rating, so we're looking at the same thing.
That's what it shows for me right now too.
Okay, dope. So the first one is Jujutsu Kaizen?
Yeah.
Cool. What do you think about that one, Spen?
Well, do you want to give us the synopsis first?
All right, sure. Hardship, regret, shame, the negative feelings that humans feel become curses that lurk in, I scrolled past it, that lurk in the everyday lives. The curses run rampant throughout the world, capable of leading people to terrible misfortune and even death. What's more, the curses can only be exorcised by another curse. This boy, with tremendous physical strength, though he lives a completely ordinary high school life, one day to save a friend who has been attacked by curses. He eats the finger of the double-faced specter. What the fuck? Taking a curse into his own soul. From then on, he shares one body with the double-faced specter. Guided by the most powerful of sorcerers, Gojo Satori, Itadori is admitted into Tokyo Metropolitan Technical High School of Sorcery, an organization that fights curses, and thus begins a heroic tale of a boy who became a curse to exorcise a curse from life, which he could never turn back. I started losing it because it's a ridiculous synopsis. Oh man, it's funny.
It's a little crazy, but I think it's kind of interesting. There's a
Yeah.
lot going on.
It's got a lot going on,
alone.
but yeah, it is definitely interesting. It's just what caught me off guard was he ate the fingers of a double-faced specter. I'm like, what? He just I'm just pictured him like grabbing a hand, just mowing down on it.
I'm assuming when they say double-faced specter, it's going to be something like some guy or gal that is kind of like two-faced, where it's just kind of like is talking one way but means another.
Yeah,
that's
possibly.
the only thing. Unless it's just like some weird specter with two faces. It's like, here's my hand.
Maybe his head turns, kind of like the mayor from Halloween Town. You know, when his face turns around to another face.
That could be it. Although I've never seen Halloween Town. You're talking about like the live action thing?
No, I'm talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh,
the mayor of Halloween Town.
I've never seen Nightmare Before Christmas.
What?
I've only seen pieces. I never really cared for musicals growing up.
It's not a musical. It's got music, but it's not a musical.
I thought for sure it was like some weird, creepy Halloween musical.
No, I mean it does have music like, Disney movies did back in the 90s, but like it's not classified as a musical.
But it's still people are still singing it.
Oh my god, Spen. All right, whatever. Let's just move on. So it looks like, this show's already came out last season. It's just continuing through this season.
Yeah.
So
shoot, has it?
Yeah, if you hover over, it says episode 12 releases in 4 days, 20 hours, 47 minutes, and 41 seconds.
I don't remember seeing that on Crunchyroll.
Oh, maybe you weren't paying attention.
Jujutsu Kaizen. Oh, wow, yeah. So this one's just going to be continuing on into the next season then. Oh.
It's continuing this, yeah. So it looks like it's halfway through the season of the show. Because it says it has 24 episodes planned for
You won't
release.
like this one. It's only dubbed up to episode 4 so far.
It doesn't mean I won't like it.
No, you won't. You only
Just
like
means
stuff
I won't.
that's
It
dubbed.
just doesn't mean I won't watch it for a while.
All right, well.
The
guess
premise is interesting.
This is one that I'll have to check out. I don't know how this one slipped past me.
I don't know. Are you going to watch this?
Oh, I think so. I think it sounds kind of interesting. I'm curious enough to see what it's like.
Yeah.
And you know what it is? I always look at the release, like what's the most recently released thing.
Okay.
And so I remember seeing some of the thumbnails here. And the thumbnails, it always shows like a little clip from inside the episode.
Oh, okay.
And nothing really jumped out and interested me from that.
The biggest thing I'm personally turned off about is in the tags, the word shonen.
Why is that?
That means they intend for the show to go on for a lot of seasons, and then there's going to be a lot of filler.
I don't think that's what shonen means.
No, maybe not.
Shonen just means it's just like a.
I understand.
Generally, more there's fighting.
I understand what shonen means, but like usually when they put that on top of it, they tend to be longer series that have so much filler.
Yeah, but The Promised Neverland is a shonen. Oh wait, you haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, never mind. I don't know. I think. Whatever. Fine.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm just saying. Just saying. It gives me a feeling. I feel like some Naruto, maybe some Dragon Ball Z, but obviously, it's got to deal with demons and stuff. It could be great. It could be phenomenal. I don't like filler, man. I like my shows to have a story. They get through the story, and then we're done.
I do agree with you. There are too many shows and movies have too many sequels, and it is nice to have some closure.
Yeah.
Instead of shows just going on forever, unless it's a really good show.
Yeah, that's the problem, though. A lot of these are probably actually really good. They just don't get the viewership. So then they get your hopes up by, hey, one season. Does this continue for 18 more? Or do we end after this one?
Well, Zeo, all shonen means is it's generally marketed towards young teen males between 12 and 18. That's all shonen means.
I understand. But that's the scary part.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go and check this one out.
I will at least watch one episode and make my judgments off of that.
Okay. So next we've got Black Clover.
Now
this is another one that's continuing on.
Yeah.
Zio, have you seen any of Black Clover?
No, because it's got so many seasons, Ben. Like, it's just too much to catch up on. Like I said, right here, if you look at it, it says episode 156 is coming out in one day. No, that's too much. And it has shonen in it. Like, I guarantee at least 40 of those episodes are filler. I guarantee it.
Well, because I believe Black Clover, I'm 100% positive that it is, there's a manga for it. And then it's just the episodes coming out for the manga.
Yeah, no, I understand. Now, I have been interested in Black Clover. Like, I see it. It's in my Funimation all the time. And I am fascinated. It's on my watch list. I just put it off for other shows that are only 12 episodes.
Well, for a quick synopsis for those that don't know what it is, in a world where magic is everything, Asta and Yuna are both found abandoned in a church on the same day. While Yuna is gifted with exceptional magical powers, Asta is the only one in this world without any. At the age of 15, both receive grimoires, magic books that amplify their holder's magic. Asta's is a rare grimoire of anti-magic that negates and repels his opponent's spells. Being opposite, but good rivals, Yuno and Asta are ready for the hardest of challenges to achieve their common dream, to be the Wizard King. Giving up is never an option. So it's an ongoing anime. It's very medieval-esque with a lot of, I mean,
magic.
Everybody, all of the main characters are magical people with their grimoires that each give them unique spells and abilities, where nobody's grimoire is the same. So everyone has their own unique powers, and it's a very long ongoing show about these two characters, brothers essentially, that are rivals, trying to always outprove the other one about who's more powerful and who will be the Wizard King. One being Yuna being very gifted with magic, and kind of everybody seeing him as this super powerful prodigy.
Yeah.
And then Asta, a boy with no magic, and just a sword that repels magic, who through his own sheer ridiculous training regiment and seemingly good luck at times,
as a main character,
overcomes all of these different trials, I guess you could call them, along the way. The story does focus on Asta. He is the main character.
Yeah, I've seen the abridged episode of Black Clover. It's far more condensed.
I fell off of the show on its latest season.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why was that?
I don't know what it was, but I don't think it's just a Black Clover thing. There's a lot of anime that I've just kind of fallen off of.
Okay.
I don't know if it's just a transition of where I am in my life and just finding some different interests right now. But I used to watch anime religiously, and now I've fallen off of it in different areas.
Yeah, I completely understand.
Some of them I'm still absolutely pumped for, but Black Clover was one of the ones that I think I finished last season, and the current season it's on is where I stopped watching.
See, it just needs to end. It just needs to have an ending. Like, look at this next anime right here. Perfect. Attack on Titan. Final season. It's in the title. Final season. So you know at least it's going to end somewhere. As much shit as I give Attack on Titan and refuse to watch it because of, like, I thought it was making interesting, narrative choices, and then found out it's just going the classic anime route. At least it has an end goal. I'm happy about that. I feel like a lot of these animes, like the shonens, Black Clover, Naruto, and stuff, like, they go on forever. They have so much filler to where the characters just end up not being fulfilling anymore, if that makes sense.
The filler isn't the reason why a lot of these shows have filler episodes.
It's because they caught up to the manga and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I understand.
So I don't know if you can...
It doesn't make it less garbage.
I don't think it's fair to say anything like that. I don't know. I didn't like what you said there about with the filler, about how that being a part of the reason why it being so garbage. Because the filler can be an issue with it, but sometimes it's just that the shows catch up and there's not much that can be done. Some shows they'll wait. Most of the time it's like, well, we can't just do nothing. And so they'll create filler episodes. And there have been some shows where some filler episodes have been absolutely fantastic.
I'm sure there are some here and there.
Well, there are. Take Cowboy Bebop, for example. Most of it's filler.
It's true. A good portion of that is filler. But Cowboy Bebop is also different.
Before we get any farther, Zeo, we got to give, for anybody that might not know what Attack on Titan is, we got to give them the synopsis.
Oh
this
my
one
God,
has spoilers in it.
It's got spoilers, though.
So I went and I found another one ahead of time.
Oh, okay.
So I've got another synopsis
Look at
here.
you, you're so
doesn't
prepared.
have any spoilers.
All right.
So when man-eating titans first appeared 100 years ago, humans found safety behind massive walls that stopped the giants in their tracks. But the safety they have had for so long is threatened when a colossal titan smashes through the barriers, causing a flood of the giants into what has been the human safe zone. During the carnage that follows, soldier Eren Yeager sees one of the creatures devour his mother, which leads him to vow that he will kill every Titan. He enlists some friends who survive to help him, and that group is humanity's last hope for avoiding extinction at the hands of the monsters. I believe most people, I think it's safe to say most people have at least seen parts of Attack on Titan, in the sense that when Attack on Titan came out,
It was huge.
yeah, like it did things in the first season that most other shows were just like, whoa.
Yeah, I mean,
Kind of like Goblin Slayer.
Yeah,
it was
like,
the first Goblin Slayer, essentially.
when Attack on Titan came out, my friends who didn't watch anime came up to me. I'm like, man, you gotta watch Attack on Titan, bro. It's so good. And it was pretty good. And then I was just utterly disappointed, so I haven't given the show another chance. But I should watch it, and I do want to watch it.
What were you disappointed by?
The main character. So I think we've talked about this before. I think they
I don't
kill
remember.
Eren, the main character, right? Like in episode, what is it, 4 or 5, somewhere around there.
Okay, we're just gonna stop here, Zeo. You just gotta watch it. They don't kill him.
I know that. I'm well aware that was the disappointing part for me. I know I have to watch it. It's just me being stubborn and a baby about it.
No, as soon as you watch one more episode, you're gonna be like, oh,
No, Spen,
I get it now.
That's not the story. That's not the story why I hate it. Not because he died. Because he died, I thought it was a very bold choice for a narrative structure for the anime. I'm like, I can get behind this. And then they started following Mitsuka or whatever her name is. I'm like, yeah, she's awesome. And then they bring Eren back, and guess what? He's a Titan! And I hated that.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yes. That's what I hated. That's what I hated.
Spoiler. It's fine. We're talking about the next season.
Yeah, the final season.
It's too late now. If you haven't seen it, whoops.
Yeah, sorry.
See, I really liked that aspect of it. I thought that was really cool.
I didn't. Like, I don't mind him turning into a Titan, but he should have just been dead. That's what I hated. I don't like it when they do a thing and they kill a character and then the character not dead.
Well, the way Titans work in the show, I feel like it's fine. I don't think it was a cheap way of bringing him back. It was all stuff that maybe seemed weird at first, but it fits in with the story later.
Maybe. Okay. I know. I understand. I probably should just give it a shot. Now that the final season's over and I know there's an end in sight, maybe I will.
Well, because what is it? It's only 4 seasons.
I'm fine with that.
Each season's 24 episodes, so you're still gonna watch like 90 episodes.
Yeah, but at least there's an end goal in sight. Like, at least I know there's an ending coming. I just, I don't know. I like my animes to feel complete. I hate watching an anime, getting excited, and then like eventually it just stops, or it just goes on past the point where I don't care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So what's next, Ben?
Well, the next one that we've got here is the next season. Well, kind of the next season. But we've got That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime 2, Part 1.
Nice.
Which, wait, did they not? I thought they're still in the middle of like some other season. Give me a sec here.
I don't know, man.
Because I've been watching it, and they had kind of like an
An in-between?
Oh, an in-between. So stupid.
It was stupid, but I liked it. But yeah,
okay. I've got one episode I've got to watch of this that I missed out.
Are you
Yeah,
excited?
'cause they did an in-between season. I'm really excited. Here, shoot, where'd my synopsis go of this? Because it doesn't have a synopsis on the thing that we've got right now.
Man, I was hoping to read that. A lot of these don't have synopsis.
Well, basically what it is this guy's just living his life in the real world, and then I don't remember what happens.
He gets stabbed.
He dies. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he gets stabbed. He dies, and then as he's dying, there's like this voice that talks to him, and he ends up getting like reincarnated into this new world. But in this new world, he's a slime.
It's all in the title.
Yeah. It's his journey going through this new world as a slime. What's typically, I hate shows like this where a main character is overpowered, but they do it in this show in a very unique way that still keeps it interesting.
Because he's a slime.
And it's just all these ridiculous things that keep happening and how he gets through them and how he grows from it and all of the people that he meets. And it's just crazy.
Yeah, I need to continue it. So I've only watched, like, I started it and I only watched like 4 episodes or something. But that person on the cover, right, with the blue hair, is that him? Does he gain like a human body?
Yeah.
And is he a girl?
No, he's not.
He's voiced by a girl, though.
I don't think maybe. There's a lot of male characters that are voiced by female characters.
Well, I know there's like
Japanese
young
anime.
boys and stuff like that, but I don't know. I like the slime portion, and then I saw things about him becoming a person. I don't know. It just seems a little weird.
Well, because this is the part 1 of season 2 essentially for it.
Yeah, I know.
In the first season, he gains these. He can basically change his form.
Mm-hmm.
Because what he does is, as a slime, he like absorbs things.
Yeah.
And he takes on their properties.
Yeah, I watched all the way past the dragon part where he meets the dragon, helps the dragon escape.
Yeah, well, there is a person that he meets that basically dies, but he wants to try and find a way to protect and like save the person. So he absorbs the person, and then that's why he has a human form now.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
he gains the human qualities after he absorbs them.
Yeah, so he can take on, because he can transform into whatever he's absorbed.
Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah, no, I need to continue to watch it. There's a bunch of shows that I started and then just stopped that I need to just continue. But yeah, I'll probably check it out once I finish the first season.
So next, Zeo, we've got ReZero Starting Life in Another World, 2nd season, part 2. Have you seen ReZero?
No, I have not.
Okay. So ReZero, the story centers on Subaru Natsuki, a Hikikomori who suddenly finds himself transported to another world on his way home from the convenience store. Oh god, that's a terrible synopsis. This gives away a bunch of plot stuff. Okay, so essentially how this show works is every time he dies, he reverts back to the beginning of when he was kind of like reincarnated. And so then every time he dies, he begins again, and he tries to make his way farther through, trying to deal with these different situations and issues that arise. Typically, he's trying to save the life of these different characters that he's grown close to, but these events in the background keep playing through and then killing a character, someone that he really cares for.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he goes back and he changes something and tries to do something differently, it makes it so that maybe that situation is fixed, but now another issue that was happening in the background is affected in a way where it turns around and it kills someone else important to him. And so he's constantly going back and forth trying to redo things, and it's really neat to see the process of him retrying all these different things. At the very beginning, you kind of see a lot of the same situation, but as things progress, every time it resets, it kind of like skips through stuff so that it keeps getting closer and closer to the end. So it does it really well. But it's really neat watching as this character that he starts out really only caring about himself, but we watch as he grows and starts to care more about these other characters, while also, because of the amount of these terrible things that he's going through, he slowly becomes like more and more insane in different ways as well.
Yeah.
So there's like the very it's a very well done fantasy psychological thriller.
Yeah, I mean, just based off of how you explain it, I really want to see it now.
Yeah, and so the first season finishes and he finally manages to do some different things, and then I've only seen, I think, because this is part 2 of the 2nd season now. I haven't seen the 2nd season yet, but I started watching it, and it takes place after season 1. But new problems show up again where I don't want to give away anything, but it continues off in the same formula, but it does it it implements it in different ways now. So it keeps the very essence of the show the same throughout the 2nd season.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, based off how you explain it, it kind of has a Steins Gate feeling. in a fantasy setting.
No. I guess
Well,
kind
Steins
of.
Gate's more about time travel, but I meant like redoing certain things to change.
Oh, in that sense, with like the redoing stuff, yeah. Once you watch it, it doesn't really feel anything like it.
Okay.
I guess on paper they can sound similar.
All right. Well, either way,
I
I'm excited for part 2 to come out of season 2. I love the titling of these shows. Some of them are just super ridiculous, and it's great.
I know.
Like ReZero, starting life in another world, second season, part 2.
Well, it's because ReZero was originally just the name of it, but then they just kept adding more stuff onto it.
Just like the next one we got coming in, Dr. Stone, Stone Wars. That's awesome.
Have you seen Dr. Stone?
I haven't. I see a lot of trailers for it on Funimation and stuff, but I don't think it was dubbed yet, so I kind of just waited. Could be dubbed now. I could have missed it or something, but I believe it wasn't dubbed at the time. But it might be dubbed now. But it's a shonen, so we'll see.
Yeah, because what I've got right here is in the modern world, every human on the planet was turned into stone after a mysterious flash of light. It tells the story of how some people from the pre-petrification world try to rebuild civilization in the petrification age, the stone world.
Yeah.
Dr. Stone's Stone Wars takes place where this war between these two groups is about to take place. And I think it's pretty exciting. I really, really liked the Stone Wars, or Dr. Stone.
I was like, wow, you like it already. It hasn't even came out yet, Spen.
Well, this is season 2 that's coming out, so.
Yeah, Dr. Stone, like I said, it looked interesting. It is on my watch list as well. I was just waiting for the dubbed.
I will say, there's a period of time early on in watching Dr. Stone where I was afraid I wasn't going to like the show. Yeah. Because it starts out really, really good and really cool, where you have this character learning about the world he's in now and what he needs to do. Mm-hmm. And then it starts to like slow down as it goes through kind of a bit of a grind of him trying to figure things out. Mm-hmm. But once right around that point, you start to kind of get worried about the show, because you're like, this is getting boring. Like, is it going to be this slow as we figure out everything? But then it finds this really nice rhythm, and it's just this beautiful pacing the whole rest of the season. And you just cannot get enough of it.
What do we got next on this list? We got The Promised Neverland Season 2. Now, I didn't know they were planning on a Season 2, because I don't read anything. But this is also on my watch list. I have a lot of these things on my watch list for the first season that I just need to watch.
So neither of us have seen the first season yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited. I like the concept of Promised Neverland. Like
for those that don't know what it is, The Promised Neverland follows 3 protagonists, Emma, Norman, and Ray, along with a cast of orphans who live together. Their lives have been full of joy, that is, until the protagonists learn the orphanage is really a farm where children are raised and given to demons to be eaten.
Yeah. That was it?
Learning that they have a limited amount of time on their side, the 3 work out a plan to escape with the rest of the children.
Okay, cool. It's like, wow, yeah,
there we go.
It's just fucking dark. They just learn that's what happens, and that's it. They die. They all die.
Yeah, they learn as they're being eaten.
Yeah. No, the concept was interesting. It is a dark premise, and I tend to like darker animes like that, so it's been on my watch list, and I probably end up watching it sooner or later.
I love the name of it.
Yes, it's a great name.
The Promised Neverland. Now, having read the synopsis, the name is so cool.
It's a great name. I mean, it's no Dr. Stone Stone Wars, but it's pretty close.
So the Promised Neverland Season 2 is going to be starting January 7th.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, it's no Storm Wars for you. Sorry there, Zeo. I mean, it does sound silly now that it's said out loud. Dr. Stone Wars.
I'm fine with it. I love ridiculous titling. I think it's hilarious. But Promised Neverland Season 2 seems great. I'm very excited. I'm glad there's going to be a second season, because I really wanted to watch the first. And I probably would have been pretty bummed if I just seen the first, and there wasn't a second season coming out. But after that, we have another one called the Quint Essential Quintuplets.
Yeah. It's going to be January 7th for this one. Same thing, same as Promised Neverland.
Yeah, it's about 5 quintuplets. That's it. Season 2.
So, the series follows the daily life of a high school student, Futaro Uesugi, who is hired as a private tutor for a group of quintuplets, Ichika, Nino, Miku, Yotsuba, and Itsuki Nakano, who perform poorly academically. At the very beginning of the story, it is indicated that Futaro will marry with one of the Nakano quintuplets, but the identity of the bride is unknown until near the end of the story.
Near the end of the story, that probably won't happen.
So it's a harem romantic comedy type
Woo! Are you excited for it, Spen?
I don't know.
All right. I think we should
I
start
don't know if I'm even
these.
gonna try it.
We should scale these animes from like woo to boo. And I feel like that's how we should scale them. Like, are we wooing
I feel like this
them?
one's like a woo ooh.
Woo ooh. All right, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. See? Now I'm into this. Let's go.
Okay. We'll have to write we'll put a scale together for this after with all the shows on it, and then we'll have like a little graph chart that shows like the woo.
I feel like that's a lot of work, and we should just commit to this until the end of the podcast.
All right, so coming up next is one I'm really excited for. Log Horizon: Destruction of the Round Table.
Oh, it's where they destroy the round table and return them back to logs.
Yeah, you don't really know anything about Log Horizon, do you?
No, not even a little bit, Spen.
Why do we even do this?
Because I love it. It's just a lot of fun. The titles of these animes are great, and I love to make fun of them, but I also love anime. I know a lot right now, for those who may be new and listening, it sounds like I don't watch any anime at all, but I do. I do watch a lot of anime. I'm just also picky, and I have really weird standards, all right? Just let's move on.
So, Log Horizon focuses on the MMORPG Elder Tales, which enjoys a considerable... Oh, I'm reading the wrong thing here.
Okay, cool.
Sure. You know, I'm going to read this one anyways. This one's actually not too bad. So, Log Horizon focuses on the MMORPG Elder Tales, which enjoys a considerable popularity because it has to offer not only a great deal of classes, but also a fantasy/post-apocalyptic world, with guilds, NPCs, special guests, and all other RPG trappings. The game is just unable to log off... Wait. Oh, the game is just a great way to escape the daily routine. However, everything changes with a new patch. Unable to log off and to die in the game, Elder Tales becomes a new reality for those unfortunate adventurers trapped in the game. While many are about to give up, a group of adventurers decide to unveil the mystery of the game they are playing and find a way to govern their town.
So why is it called Log Horizon and not Elder Tales?
Well, Log Horizon is the name of the guild that gets created.
Okay. All right.
So, it's another one of those animes where people get trapped in the world, and if they die...
They're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Yeah.
Is the main...
Well, they don't really die, though. They do respawn, but...
Well, I mean, that takes away the heaviness of death.
Yeah.
Great.
But there are negative things that come with it that do affect people. So.
Oh, okay. Do they go down a level or two?
No, I don't want to give away anything. That's why I can't say anything because it's a crucial part of the plot here. Uh-huh. But as much as Zeo's making fun of it, Log Horizon is really, really good.
Okay.
It's very different than any because there's a lot of these kinds of shows that have come out in the last little while.
So what is Destruction of the Round Table? What season is this?
This is season
3, 7.
I believe it's season 2 or 3.
Okay.
Let me find out for you.
All right, sounds good. Let's find out, everybody. See, what's confusing for me is
This is going to be season 3.
Okay. We have the synopsis on the video, and Spen reads something else. So I
Oh
couldn't
shit, we
follow
had one
along.
on here.
I
was just
like,
so
all
used
right.
to a bunch of them not having any.
I was like trying to read along. I'm like, where the fuck is he reading from? I had no idea.
Okay, well, the synopsis we've got here.
Great.
So this is season 3, where it takes place later on. So it's a year after the adventurers were blown into the Eldertale world. Akiba's prosperity begins to teeter with the emergence of a new monster, Genius, a festering power struggle between the East-West aristocrats and the growing gap among the adventurers themselves. Finally, the Round Table, the symbol of their unity, faces a decisive crisis. So this season 3 takes place after they've kind of learned some of the secrets of the world. They've set up this like governing type structure over the town.
Yeah.
What sucks is what I'm saying out loud sounds really dumb and lame, and you're just kind of like, whatever, I don't really care about this. But they do a really good job in the show of making it really interesting and really well done. Because it's this world where everybody's trapped in this game, and it's just kind of chaos, and there's basically two people. Either it's chaos where people are like, oh, what do we do? Or it's just complete melancholy where they're just like, I don't care. Yeah, like, this is dumb, whatever, I guess I'll just sit here and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And then through the show, they start to find different ways to bring life back into the people and to keep people safe from these TP, like, people that take enjoyment out of just going around and killing people. And they start to create, like, an actual... instead of it just being some MMO, it's now like a civilization where they're living and creating jobs and prospering and living lives again.
Like,
and then
sort
while
of
they're
online, but not just for half a season, just continued on.
Yeah, like they do a really good job of it, because that's what the whole focus of this show is about. The town and them going through and making everything better. It's not just one character going through and getting all emo and then saving the world and having lots of different girls that fall in love with him. I mean, a lot of girls still fall in love with the main character, but that's not a focus.
That's not the point.
No.
All right, so I guess the important thing, Spen, is the scale. Woo or boo?
I'm not gonna give. You know what? For me, this is almost like a woo.
Okay, all right. I think for me, it's gonna be right at a woo. Like, I need to check out first season. Woo.
Like the first. Yeah. It's tough because
you talked it up so much, and yet you're not doing a very good job at selling it right now.
I know, but that's what's tough about it is. It's done really, really well, and everything is done in a fantastic way. But when you go to try to tell people about the different things that have happened, you're just like, wow, like, it really doesn't sound like anything that special.
So let's try not to over-explain these animes to people.
See, but I had no way to, I didn't know how to explain that.
I mean, there's a pretty simple synopsis right here, right next to the anime title.
That is true. But I mean, I read the synopsis and I'm just like, that doesn't sound very interesting.
But that's what we're judging this based on. That's what the whole podcast is about. We're not here to give information to people. We're here to judge things. And
oh, okay.
Now,
well, I think you guys should, if you haven't seen Log Horizon, I think everybody should go watch the first season, because then I think they'll enjoy watching the rest of it.
Yes, and when you watch it, then come back and comment here and tell Spen how much you woo it or boo it.
Yeah. Yep. And just don't tell me how badly I explained this show, because I already know it's pretty bad.
Now, I've been staring at this next title for quite a while because I'm pretty interested. I think the picture looks good. The title seems fun, and I love all the little the words over here that help explain what it is.
Yeah.
I can't think of them. Tags. There we go. The tags.
I had a feeling.
It's
so. Oh, before we do that, I don't know if I mentioned it. January 13th is going to be Log Horizon.
Yes. So go watch the first 2 seasons and then catch up to this.
Zeo, do you want to take over for this next one?
Yeah, it's called Higurashi When They Cry. G-O-U. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
It is a new anime coming out never mind. It's on episode 12. So it's halfway through the first season of this anime. New kid, Kichi, blah, 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 is settling into his new home of peaceful, blah, blah, blah village, making quick friends with the girls from his school. He arrived in time for the big festival of the year, but something about this isolated town seems off, and his feelings of dread continue to grow. With a gnawing fear that he's right, what dark secrets could this small community be hiding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got everything that you like in a show. Horror, mystery, psychological, supernatural, thriller, dementia.
Yes. I'll forget about it when I'm done. But no, okay, so like you're right. I have it hits all the spots I like in an anime. I like animes. It seems like based off of these, they don't typically make shows with these type of tags long. So yeah, I tend to see them as like a one and done. Maybe there's a couple seasons. But yeah, I love mysteries. I love psychological stuff. The supernaturals, man, I can live without. Horror is also things I can live without. But the dementia's the tag that stuck out to me. Like, why put that on there? And that's what's very fascinating for me. I'm very interested in this show. It seems like it's on Funimation, and I'm gonna be watching.
Well, everything we've talked about so far is Crunchyroll, for sure.
Yeah, except
now this one's Funimation.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited now that I have.
I guess the quintessential quintuplets wasn't.
Oh, you also want to know a fun fact, Ben? Not related to this list at all.
What's up?
Funimation, I believe, is gonna buy Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll has already been purchased by Sony,
which is Funimation.
Yeah, so Sony owns Crunchyroll already.
Oh,
that happened 2 days ago.
Dang it! I was sitting on this news for like a couple weeks now. I'm like, son of a bitch. You already knew. Dang it.
I thought we talked about it on one of the podcasts already.
No, we talked about Funimation versus Crunchyroll, but that was it.
But I thought there was another time. Oh, maybe I talked about it on a stream. I don't know. Yeah, I was just talking about that in my Discord.
Nice.
A couple days ago.
So,
I think it's great.
I think we can talk. We should talk. This is a whole different podcast we need to do because I feel like we could really talk about that. That'd be interesting. Anyways, how do you feel about this anime, Spen, based off of the synopsis that I poorly read?
I don't know. I'll try it out.
Because you're not into this kind of thing normally, aren't you?
Not normally.
You like your cutesy animes.
I mean, when I first looked at the picture, I'm like, "Oh, this might be kind of cool, like a nice little like
it does have
everyday life."
It does have like a cute, happy look to it. It does.
Yeah, because I love anime about just where nothing happens, where it's just the daily life and the stupid little shenanigans that don't mean anything or matter happen. And I was just like, "Oh, maybe this is gonna be one of those." And then I read psychological, supernatural, thriller, mystery, horror, dementia, and I was just like, "Ah."
But that tends to be some of the best storytelling.
I don't think I'm not quite at the B word for this one.
Okay, at the B word.
But yeah,
as if it's a curse word.
Yeah, but I'm still at like I'm like at a woo.
I'm at a woo. Let's go.
Oh, man.
But I'm very excited for it.
I'm definitely gonna try it out. It could be interesting.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I watch it. Probably tonight.
Because I watched Another.
Another's
right? That was one of those, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's another one. But I'm
which
not a
is the
fan
one where close to the end they're in like some burning building or whatever, and people die in it. And
there's a lot of animes that do that. I mean, that's probably Another, but Another wasn't that great. It was really slow for me as well.
Another was a psychological one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Where there was a lot of people that were dying in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think Another was the one I'm thinking of.
Stuff.
I watched that one. I was like, that's all right.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. So Spen read a bunch of them. I'll read this one too. We got Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. The story follows a 34-year-old man who is killed after trying to save someone from getting hit by a car. He soon finds himself reincarnated in a magical world as Rudeus Grey Rat, except that he gets his whole life reset, starting as a baby. There's a lot of animes where people just get murdered and reincarnated.
Yeah, but how... Okay,
sorry, I'll continue. With all of his knowledge from his previous life and a heaping helping of magical abilities, Rudeus quickly becomes a formidable warrior ready for adventure. Oh, and he still is a turtle pervert. Oh my god.
It sounded so good until then. No, like it was so good. Like this is a cool concept.
I mean,
And then
it's not.
and then they ruin it.
I feel like it's a pretty beaten down concept, though.
Yeah, but I'll never get enough of this.
You'll never get enough of it. Let's kill the guy right away and then reincarnate them.
I really enjoy the reincarnation ones. But mostly because I love fantasy anime shows, and this is how we're getting most of them these days.
Yeah, they definitely follow huge trends. Now, what if an anime did this, Ben? Now, what if it... Oh, man, that'd be really cool. We should do this. What if we create an anime where every season is a different genre, but it's the same storyline? So, like, I don't know. Let's say we create a name. It's called Life. Some dumb name like that. And it follows this guy in his life. And it's just a slice of life anime. And he's just trying to navigate the world and find love. But at the end, he gets hit by a train. And he dies. And then, right before it completely ends, he wakes up and then there's a whole new world. So now he's reincarnated in this fantasy world. And now he has to learn magic and all this other stuff. And he's trying to figure out what happened to me so I can get back to my slice of life route. So then he goes through that whole reincarnation phase and he's getting stronger. He's like, oh, I found a way to go back to my real life again. Then he gets murdered again. And now he's sent to hell. And now he's in a horror season where he has to deal with the monstrosities of the world and all the evil that has been sent out and cast into this dimension.
I think that'd be kind of fun. What I think would be really cool as well is if you had like just a forever ongoing anime, because you hate those.
Oh God.
And every 12 episodes, the character dies and is reincarnated in a new world. And every time he reincarnates, he's like, oh, son of a gun, I just want to live a normal life. So he just tries to live a normal life and find a beautiful lady and have a wonderful family. And then just before he gets it, he dies, and then he reincarnates in a new world. And it's just the same thing every time. He just wants a new normal life, to find a beautiful wife, and then have a nice family. But then just before he gets it, he dies, and it just keeps repeating forever.
I feel like that would only work for so long, though. We can do that for maybe 3 seasons. Maybe 3.
No. We do it forever, and we keep beating the rat against
What do we
the
call
board.
it? What do we call it? Life repeat?
I just want a beautiful life.
I just want a beautiful life.
Yeah,
that's actually not a bad title. That's actually a pretty good title. We should do this. Oh, man, Spen, we should have a podcast where we just create our own animes.
I like it, but that's not what we're here for.
No, sorry. Anyways, this was a great. How do you feel on the woo to boo schedule for jobless?
Well, I was feeling like pretty woo, but then the last sentence happened.
Really killed it for you,
and it went to a woo.
I was like a woo boo.
So many shows would be amazing. But then that final sentence is incorporated into the show, and it just ruins the show for me.
See, I'm kind of with you. Like, I don't really care about the pervert stuff. The only show I ever thought that was hilarious was High School DxD, because it's a huge part of the plot, and it's intended to be silly and stupid and dumb. But when shows like
most
this,
of these shows do
it
poorly.
Yeah, they don't go that direction.
They just do it so they can show panties.
Yeah. And it's just, ugh.
I mean, like, if it's done in a way where that's what he's like, but it never goes into like the grotesque route, and it just kind of makes funny jokes about it, then I'm more okay with it.
Yeah.
But I hate it when suddenly it's always just like
I feel like it has to be in the plot, and the type of story like has to be almost essential to that character trait, you know?
Like Konosuba.
What is Konosuba?
Have you seen Konosuba?
No, I don't know what that is.
I don't remember I think that's just what the English name is for it as well. But it's another one. It's another reincarnation one about how this guy, he dies on his way home from school, and he's reincarnated in this new world. But before he's reincarnated, he's met by a goddess. And the goddess says he can take one thing with him when he goes into this new world. Only one thing, and that's it. And he's so mad and frustrated about this, he says, fine, I'm taking you. And so he brings the goddess into the world with him, and so they're reincarnated together. And then it's just these absolute ridiculous shenanigans about these people that should never succeed. The main character he's basically a pervert thief who has this goddess that's full of herself, with a wizard who has only one spell, and it's the most powerful spell in the entire thing. She casts the spell that it just explodes everything. And then they've also traveled around with a paladin who is turned on by getting herself beat up. And when it's done, like, they do it in such a funny way that makes it so good.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It's a very big essential part of the plot where that makes sense. Or like one of my favorite animes where they do something like that. It's called what's it called? A boring world where the concept of dirty jokes don't exist. And it's like this society is designed to be
is
so
that real?
Perfect. Huh?
Is this a real show, or are you just saying an example of what
No, it's a real show. It's hilarious.
That's what it's called?
Yeah, it's a boring world where the concept of dirty jokes don't exist. It's hilarious. So basically, it's like a perfect world and society where everyone's like perfect and stuff. And then there's this superhero or villain or whatever you want to call him that she wears like just a blanket and then underwear on her face, and she just goes around spreading around porn and stuff. And like, and she drags this one guy in with her who's like he just wants to be a part of society like a normal human being. She's like, fart jokes, dick jokes, and like all this other stuff. It's really good. It's funny. It's really good. I like it a lot. But yeah, like I said, it's integral to the story. I just had a panic
attack that I wasn't recording, but I am, so we're good.
Oh man. But anyways, we need to move on. We've got so much of this list we haven't covered.
I mean, we might just turn this into a part 1 of 2.
Yeah, of 2. As we I'm scrolling down this list. We have so many.
I mean, the rest of it's gonna go through quicker because we're gonna be smarter about it.
Yeah, let's do. All right, speed.
But at the same time, if it turns into part 3, it means we've got like 3 weeks of not having to worry about anything.
There we go. All right, so we have the 7 deadly.
Before we start talking about 7 deadly sins, why don't we just say, hey, we're like an hour in. Let's make this the end of part 1.
Okay, well, everybody, thanks for watching part 1. This is amazing. It was so much fun where we talked about 11 animes of a list of like 40 something.
Well, we have limited time, so
yeah.
we got to be smart about it. So, all right, well, guys, we'll catch you next time.
Part 2.